परमऋषिभ्यो नमः परमऋषिभ्यः। हरि ओम। यस्यान्तर्नादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नाम गोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णा न भवति पुरुषो न नपुंसं न च स्त्री नाकारं नो विकारं न हि जनिमरणं नास्ति पुण्यं न पापं तत्त्वं नो तत्त्वमेकं सहजसमरसं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। सदाशिवसमुद्भूतशुद्धज्ञानैकरूपिणीं रमणाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वर्षिष्ठान्तेव सदृशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं स्वात्मारामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय यतये शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकमहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयम्। हृदयकुहरमध्ये केवलं ब्रह्ममात्रं ह्यहम् अहम् इति साक्षादात्मरूपेण भाति। हृदि विषमनसा स्वं चिन्वता मज्जता वा पवनचलनरोधाद् आत्मनिष्ठो भवत्वम्। यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते एनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः। As it is a talk on Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi's teaching. When I entered here itself, I heard Arunachala Shiva. So I will just chant Arunachala Shiva, then we will start. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. This is like a mantra which Bhagavan has given us. This is the mantra through which Ramana Maharshi also attained the highest. The first thing that he heard, the spiritual key which opened his heart, is the name Arunachala. Hence in his Aksharamanamala he begins with Arunachalam ena ahame ninaipavar ahattai verarupai Arunachala. Those who just contemplate on Arunachala, those who think Arunachala, what does Arunachala do? He just erases their I. The ego is rooted out. So that is the greatest blessing that Arunachala gives. So all the spiritual search begins with bhakti. Even though Ramana Maharshi is very well known as a jnani, a jivan mukta, a great sage who always taught in silence. For him also, he was a very simple person, youngster, simple youngster, not interested in academics. Somehow that is the common feature with all saints. They don't like school. So he was also not interested in school. Ramakrishna also was not interested in school. By seeing these characteristics in them, only I started loving them. So you can imagine about me also. I will start with the same subject. After Ramana Maharshi was very well known all over the world as a great sage. About 2 or 3 decades after his renunciation, one of his school teachers came to Tiruvannamalai to have a darshan of the sage. With utmost respect, did a namaskara. And after some time asked some doubt. To Bhagavan he asked, I have some doubt. He asked a question. Listening to that question, Bhagavan remarked, afraid of your question, I ran away from Madurai to Tiruvannamalai. Now you have come all the way to Tiruvannamalai again to frighten me. So, you can just think, because people think that Vedanta means so much to study. Of course, that kind of Vedanta is there. But Bhagavan Ramana was the embodiment of Vedanta. His guru is who? You know who is Guru of Ramana Maharshi? Arunachala. He has clearly said, Arunachala is my Guru. Kutram mutru aruthu yenai gunamai panithu aal Guru uruvai olir Arunachala. He says, Arunachala, you removed all my flaws. How can you remove the flaws? Flaws means identity with the body. When, as long as you identify with this body, nobody can be flawless. The moment you identify with the body, all the flaws, imperfections will be superimposed on you. And Arunachala gave Bhagavan the experience of bodilessness. mindlessness, egolessness, gave the experience of the self, Swarupa, the Atman. So with utmost gratitude, Bhagavan is expressing his bhakti to his Guru. He says, you removed all my flaws. Muttu means completely. And you made me whole, Purna. Thus you shine forth as my Guru, Arunachala. And what is Arunachala? Swamiji first itself told me question answer session. So I am asking question, you answer. I don't want the reverse. I don't want you to ask question. What is Arunachala? I want some answer. Arunachala is Shiva, Arunachala is hill, that is all known. But Bhagavan says Arunachala is the essence of Vedanta. Vedante ver ara vilangum Veda Purul, the import, the implied meaning of all the Vedic wisdom, the Upanishads, which removes all the otherness from you, duality from you, makes you abide in your own self. That knowledge, that jnanam is Arunachala. So Arunachala represents that jnanam. One of our Bhagavan's devotees used to say, when we used to come to Rishikesh, he will say, Gangaji is flowing Arunachala. And Arunachala is solid Ganga. So no difference at all, because the presence is same. Arunachala is fire. Ganga is so cool water, so she makes you peaceful. He will burn you. First you need that burning. Then when it is too much, you run to Rishikesh. Take a dip in Ganga. And what is Ganga? Ganga is bhakti. Arunachala is jnanam. Ganga is bhakti. Ganga also is jnanam. But you can take like that. No? The jnanam burns you and bhakti makes you cool, shanta, surrender. Both are needed in spiritual life. You need jnanam, you need bhakti, and you need vairagya, dispassion. Bhakti, jnana, viraga. These three are needed. So Arunachala represents the highest knowledge, where the Upanishads declare that Tattvamasi, this is the Mahavakya, you are that. What you are searching is in you as the essence, the implied meaning of your own I am. When you know what this I means, you know Arunachala. Bhagavan has written 5 verses, 5 hymns. 5 hymns he has written, 5 verses is Arunachala Pancharatnam, 5 gems. There in the first verse, he says, Arunachala, you look like a hill. But you are the ocean of Karuna, compassion, Karuna Purna Sudhabdhi. You shine forth outside me, emanating grace, because you need spiritual life, you need grace. In Shaiva Siddhanta, they say this is the last principle that one person will realize. You will have God realization, Ishvara Sakshatkara. You will have self-realization, Atma Sakshatkara. And the last Sakshatkara is what they call as Kripa Sakshatkara. You recognize, I did no sadhana. Even the seeming effort that I put was also not done by me. It was all done by Him. It was His grace. Grace alone made me strive. Grace alone ultimately appeared as realization. Once this recognition dawns, a little trace of ego, even a little trace of ego will not remain. You cannot even claim I attained, I have reached. Bhagavan says, after seeing Arunachala, he says, neither can I say I have attained, nor can I say I have not attained, because the I is not there. And Arunachala is the real meaning of the I within you. Hridi ahamiti nrityasi bhoho. In the heart, you are dancing in my heart as I. All this experience came to Bhagavan, initiated by Shiva. Maharshi called this Atma-Vichara as Mahayoga, the supreme yoga. And it is also Shiva Yoga, the grace of Shiva. Because Shiva means the destroyer. He is death. Hence he appeared in Maharshi's life first as death. So when you invoke Shiva, be careful. He comes to you as death. Death is one side and immortality is one side. One side you perfectly see death. The body dies, the mind dies, the ego is removed. On the other side you find, I am deathless. Every day we are all having that experience in deep sleep. In the waking state, the body is there, the mind is there, I am there. The ego is also there, I am alive. In the dream, the body does not exist, the mind is operating, the ego is there in a different form. I am in the deep sleep. Neither the body exists, nor the mind operates. The ego sense is also not there. But existence, my existence as happiness, as life, it is there. So that deep sleep state every day tells you bodilessness is natural. Vedanta is a very natural teaching. It is only just revealing to you what you are. And every day experientially everyone is experiencing without body I am, without mind I am, without this ego I am. You have to just contemplate on that state, that deep sleep state. Sushupta upalabhyate. Shankaracharya says even in the deep sleep, everyone is experiencing Brahman. Everyone is experiencing Atman. You have to just, it is not that easy. It looks like very simple because everyone is having that experience. You every day wake up from deep sleep and sit in your bed and just try to recollect what was that state. By sleeping you will not realize. But by contemplating on that state, a new plane will open up. By again and again reflecting, how was I a few hours before? Every day you will not get, because usually you will wake up you will come to this waking state through the corridor of dream. Hence you will not recollect that profound state of deep sleep. Generally, after so much worldly experience, this deep sleep is always kept hidden. But you go on striving, one auspicious, precious moment, you will recognize it is a very profound state where the body was not, the mind was not, the individual I, ego sense was not, yet something was there, and that was whole, Purna. That is why if somebody wakes you up, you want to go back. You don't want to come to this waking state. If they say it is only 3 o'clock, sleep for 1 more hour, you are happy. You choose that state, which is, perhaps you may intellectually say nothing, nothingness. But there it is full. And Vedanta is giving you this example only to tell you that what you are seeking, that great contentment, that great happiness, that great fulfillment is already there deep within you. Even now, this is waking state, and partially everybody is in dream state. The mind is constantly dreaming, that sankalpa is there, and behind that the deep sleep is also there. So this deep sleep state reveals to us what is death. And what is this I also? Because when you wake up, the first thing that comes out is this I thought. So simple. When you come from some other country to Rishikesh, first day, you were very tired, you go to sleep, and when you wake up, first slowly the I came. You are seeing your own birth. Then the mind just blossoms, dream, and wake up. Then you are not sure where you are. I think everyone will have that confusion. Then you slowly convince yourself, okay, I am in Rishikesh, India. Rishikesh. So that comes later on. Desha and Kala, what is the time? It comes later on. But you wake up from the timeless to the limitation of time. It is so natural. And who brought you to the limitation? It is this I thought. When the I thought arises, suddenly you find yourself surrounded by space, time, body, mind. Everything comes, all bondage comes. When the I thought disappears, everything disappears. Actually, this is Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi's teaching. Very beautifully Bhagavan says in very many places, find out where from the I arises. This is Atma-Vichara. You are not sure about God. You are not sure about anything outside you. The only thing about which you are certain is your own existence. Suppose if we make the entire hall dark, pitch dark, the awareness I am is so clear. You don't need anyone else to tell you you are there. Shankaracharya gives the simile, a lamp needs no other lamp. It shines forth by its light. Like that, the self needs no other awareness to shine. It is self-effulgent. We call it in Sanskritam Swayam Prakasha. It is Swayam Prakasha. Swabodhe na anya bodhecha. Bodharupatayatmana. Na deepasya anya deepecha. Yatha swatma prakashane. So it is Swayam Prakasha. You already are self-effulgent. The truth, the Atman is ever shining forth in you as aham, aham, I am, as I. That is the only constant principle inside. The body undergoes change. It is constantly changing. Infanthood, childhood, youth, old age. Yet you feel I am the same. That same experientially you feel I am the same. And what is that principle, that element which makes you cognize your changelessness? Something, the I, the essence of I, the awareness remains changeless. Bhagavan's initiation, Ramana Bhagavan's initiation is, he never wanted to intellectually equip you. He never wanted to give you any burden of even sadhana. Constantly, he knew this Shiva Yoga. And what is this Shiva Yoga? It is just initiating you to yourself. It is just making you turn inward and look at the simple feeling of that changeless principle inside you as I am. Hridi aham iti nrityasi. He says that is Arunachala. During this lockdown period, many devotees who used to very often visit Arunachala felt very down because they could not come. Then I said, Arunachala is within you. Wherever you are, you can never miss Arunachala, because Arunachala is your own self. That is the truth. The outer Arunachala you can miss even in Tiruvannamalai. Even there, if you look down, you don't see Arunachala. You have to be constantly looking. Then also, seeing can never give you clear understanding. See, in worldly life also you see, you live with a husband, wife for so many years, still both are strangers. So this worldly experience, seeing, feeling, relating, is not giving you perfect knowledge. Only when you see the truth in your own beingness, in your own existence, and know that it is your own self, perfect knowledge comes. So to know Arunachala, you have to be Arunachala. Shivo bhutva shivam aradhayet. To know, to worship Shiva, you have to become Shiva. And you need not, fortunately, you need not become Shiva, because Shiva alone exists. He is in you as the I, the essence of I, as aham, aham. So Atma-Vichara means, we call it self-enquiry or who am I enquiry. It means you are being initiated. Just, the power of Bhagavan's enquiry was so much that he need not speak like me. In his presence, suddenly this spurti, he called it spurti, the pulsation, the throb of I was so clear for many. That was the initiation. Suddenly, when he looks, that one look, people used to get initiated. Initiated means suddenly they feel the I, just like when you churn, the butter gets separated from the curd, like that. Suddenly there is something arising from within. It is not the body, it is not the mind, it is not the ego, or what you call the ego. Suddenly, like Navanitam we call, fresh butter, it gets separated from its identity with the body, the mind, the intellect, and shines forth as I. As aham, aham, aham. Bhagavan called it as spurti. Shankaracharya also referred to it in many places as spurti, spurana. The Kashmir Shiva tradition, they also use this word. this spurti, this spurana. The Guru, what does the Guru do? He just makes you recognize that pulsation within. When a Guru initiates you with a mantra, mantra is also a spurti, but it is artificially created from outside. Outwardly, he transmits you that, but later on, that spandana, that throbbing, the mantra first you chant, then the mantra becomes mental, then it becomes deep down, it throbs as para pashyanti madhyama vaikhari. It throbs deep within and merges in the eternal current, the spurti. In Bhagavan's case, Bhagavan never initiated people directly to mantra. He made them see the japa that is happening inside involuntarily. The japa which is done by the inner being, the antaryami. The japa which the antaryami is doing inside as aham, aham, I. This is, you have to just see it now. You have to just see it now. Turn inward and just question what is this I. Become Bhagavan's his own experience of death in the first. He says, I felt the body is dead now. It will be taken to crematorium, will be burnt there. And he suddenly had a vision that the body is burnt. I am not the body. And I feel the full force of personality within me. And there was a strange fascination. See, here lies the clue for self-inquiry. Maharshi says, there was a strange fascination. That is the grace of Arunachala. Strange fascination for the mind to trace the I thought to its source. I am repeating it. Suddenly there was a strange fascination for the mind to look at the I thought and to follow the I thought to the source, to the heart, from where the I arises. It happened for a few minutes. Suddenly he found that the I was blown out. The I sense was erased, and from that source arose something profound. Ahamayam kuto bhavati chinvataha aipatatyaham nijavicharanam ahaminashabhaji ahamaham taya spurati hirtsvayam paramapurna sat. When the I is traced deep within, the I is blown out in the heart, and in the ashes of that I, Shiva dances there as I, pure pulsation, pure spurti of consciousness. You may call it Kundalini or anything, but for Jnana Yogi, the heart is the center, the Hridayam. Bhagavan calls it as Hridayam. There happens the experience. There he feels as Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupa. It is body free, mind free, ego free. It is pure Akasha. In Aksharamanamale, Bhagavan says, when all these subtle thoughts are all quietened, then that Akasha reveals. Nun yen alai irum yendru arunachala. When all the thoughts are quelled, then Vinuru, that infinity, that space of the Atman, Akasha, it shines forth within. So this experience can come, but for spiritual practice, the initiation is just making your attention, just as the Ganga is constantly flowing, you just enter the stream, take a dip there. Like that, inwardly there is a constant Ganga, a dhara. Shankaracharya has given the same simile, like Ganga. He says, Jnana dhara, Atmatvam girijamati sahacharaha prana shariram griham. He says the body is Kashi and this current of jnana is Ganga. Kashi kshetram shariram tribhuvana janani vyapini jnana Ganga. That jnana Ganga is this constant spandana throbbing within you as I. Whatever sadhana you may be doing, you may be doing some meditation on form, or you might be doing some mantra japa. Anything you can do. The Upanishadic tradition itself is like that. You do some upasana and then slowly turn your mind towards the awareness within you. Who is doing the sadhana? Who is chanting the mantra? Who is meditating? Who is the meditator? Even meditation is not the thing. Find out the meditator. Who is the meditator? I am meditating. And who is this I? What is this I? What is this I? It's a constant turning inward and trying to locate the I in the heart. When you feel angry, who is angry? Because anger is an energy, you can look at it. As I can look at this mic, so too you can look at it. Suddenly you feel angry. And you ask, who is angry? I. And what is this I? I. You stay with it. You stay with it. Sometimes Bhagavan Maharshi used to initiate people into this very, in his own method. I have repeated this incident in many satsang because it's very, very, it's a great revelation. One seeker asked Maharshi how to do self-enquiry. Because when I try to inquire who am I, the I is not palpable. I am not able to hold it. And he was an inmate of ashram. So he said, Bhagavan, I am striving for so many months or years. You said, inquire who am I, but I cannot catch the I. I am not able to catch the I. Bhagavan did not even look at him. He asked this question, she simply was looking at the vacant space, quiet, still, no answer. You can see in talks also, many places, no answer. Because why unnecessarily answer? No answer. So he asked, then he knew Bhagavan's nature, he waited for some time, left it there. Then he went for his work in kitchen. Then the kitchen in charge person, he asked, why are you late? He said, I had some other job. I have not come here to do all this work. I have come here for self-realization. Then the other person said, you think self-realization will fall from sky? I have also come for that. And this person said something to him, he said something to him. And he said, I will show you who I am. And he also said, do you think I am somebody you can play with me like that? Suddenly he found Bhagavan standing there. In between, suddenly he found Maharshi standing there. He blushed. He felt very ashamed. Bhagavan said, don't be ashamed. This is the moment you have to catch hold. You said you are not able to catch the I. See how even I can see that I. The I is so clear, so much it has come out now. I. See this. That is why you need the presence of a master, The moment your I puts its head out, he will pounce. Otherwise, if you try to do it, you will safely, very beautiful meditation room, meditation seat, keep a coffee near and try to meditate, chant Om and safely take one photo if you want meditation. That is what all people do. Everywhere I am seeing in the Ganga banks also, people sitting like this, take some photo and they will put in some magazine. You will have more samsara, no moksha. So real meditation is something, just explodes within you when the master comes to you with this. About 15-16 years, I used to give talks in one of our Ramanashram in Palakkad. One couple used to come every day. And their children, small children, 4 years, 5 years, they will be lying in their lap. And they will go to sleep while the talk will be happening. They will be but listening. Something will go inside. So now they have all become family people now. Very grown up. So one day that mother came to me and she said, I was getting angry to my son. He was only 5 or 6 years old. I said, you are not listening to me. I feel very angry to you. Then that boy said, Mother, very calmly, he said, Amma, you inquire to whom this anger comes. See the power of satsanga. The power of satsanga. And she said, suddenly my attention was put there. So thus anyone can help you, When you become angry, who is angry? Find out. Because anger, meditation means you need immense energy. When you become angry, there will be so much energy there. It's like a fuel, very powerful fuel. And you go inside a room, close inside a room, and just look at that energy, that anger. Actually, you need not even ask to whom the anger comes. You just see it. Then you find the entire anger is I thought. The entire anger is I thought. It is I. Because if someone insults somebody, no anger will come. But if he insults this body, mind, the very reaction is this explosion of emotion as anger. And that anger is I thought. Bhagavan calls it aham vritti. I thought. Just you stay with that anger. Don't try to remove that anger. Don't push it aside. Just watch that anger. Where that anger arises, when you look at it, the anger energy will come like this, go deep within, come like this, go deep within. And then you find it will just go inside. And there will be profound samadhi for a few moments. It will not be shashvata. For a few moments that emotion will just merge in the inner ocean. And there you have to recognize that ocean is you. The emotion is not you. The emotion just arises and goes back in a substratum. And that substratum is your real nature. That base is your real nature. There everything arises, goes back. Even me arises there, goes back. That is why I first told you deep sleep. That is the state where you see yourself without me. The me is not there, but existence is there. The I thought is not there, but self is very much there. Like that, Jagrat Sushupti. Bhagavan says Jagrat Sushupti. You are awake, perfectly alert, and the I thought, the me, the so-called self is erased, but you find something profound, which is very, very wholesome, very, very rejuvenating, complete, is there. And that is made of peace, shanti, shanti, shanti. And that shanti is Brahman. And that shanti is Arunachala. And that Bhagavan calls as self-realization. But generally it will happen for a few moments, again the mind will arise. People come to Tiruvannamalai, meditate for some day, then if they feel they have attained, then they go back. Sometimes it will continue for some more days, this meditative state. So they will initiate people, become guru. And after some time they find the guru has disappeared. All the old stuff comes out. So if spirituality, of course Bhagavan Maharshi said, nothing was so simple like spirituality. Ayye ati sulabham. But he also added one more thing. Arulum Venume. He said, if you have the grace of Bhagavan, protection of that Shakti, it is very simple. And you also should be a simple person. Then only you can, if your mind is very complex, this simple teaching is not enough. This simple teaching has to enter into you and you become absorbed all your life with that. Ramakrishna said, this is a divine inundating nectar. A drop you take all your life, the inundation is there. Like that was all many close devotees of Bhagavan Maharshi. Once they got it, all their life they were inundated. If you get a true spiritual wisdom, if the satsanga is really effective, then it transforms you. The resolve comes from within. This is my life. I don't want to commercialize it. Take it to the world. World is no more important. Swami Vivekananda has said somewhere very beautiful words. He said, let a few souls live for God and for God alone. And let the world go. Have no compromise. If such a resolve is there inside, Atma-Vichara is very easy. Self-inquiry is very, very easy. Ayye ati sulabham. Atma-Vidyaya ayye ati sulabham. Bhagavan said, sulabham means so simple. This path of self-inquiry is so direct and simple. Nothing is so simple like that, because it is your own existence. You have to just be sincerely inward and inquire what is within me. The body is there and something is within me. What is within me? In my childhood, I was born in a very, very Vedic village. Those days there were Vedic scholars, many. So there, it's all collective living. So along with all celebrations, another gift also, another opportunity also will come. That is to see so many deaths. So many deaths. So the body will be kept there, all rituals will be done, because they were all Brahmins, so many rituals will be there before they take the body. So I used to sit there. And what happened to this body? Yesterday he was speaking to me, now not speaking. Yesterday somebody was seeing through that eyes, now no one is there. The eyes are there, but the person is not there. And nobody is listening. And the body is not walking. Why not it walk to the cremation ground? So much trouble for others to take it. It cannot walk. So what is that I? This was like a contemplation those days. The Upanishad says, Ena Rupam, Rasam, Gandham, Shabdan, Sparshansya, Maithunan, Etenaiva Vijanati, Kimatra Parishishyate. The Kathopanishad says, that which within you looks through the eyes, hears through the ears, tastes through the tongue, feels the touch through the skin. What is that? And that is the truth which you are inquiring, O Nachiketa. So, this self you have to find out within you. And to find it is Atma-Vichara. For Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, it happened very quickly. But generally, for all the aspirants, they have to dedicate their life to find that truth and accept all the natural forces around and discipline your life in such a way that you will have a full spiritual life. And of course, you might be having your own worldly occupation, employment, but inwardly you take a resolve that now this is important to me. This is my goal. So, outwardly for livelihood, you might be doing many things, but the other time, when you get time, your chief occupation is bhakti, jnanam, vairagyam. Once you take this resolve, now daily, happily, you start practicing this inquiry inwardly, whatever thought may arise within you. You inquire to whom this thought comes. You see to whom this thought comes. It is to me. And what is this feeling of I? This I is aham vritti. And next is aham spurti. It throbs. Then you hold on to it. Then you find that you have a mantram in your being. Some throb of awareness. The mantram is not made through words. It is not made by words. It is pure throb of something which is neither mind nor purely consciousness. Some deep spiritual well-beingness. It throbs within you. Hold on to it. It takes you to the ultimate realization where you recognize that your real self is absolutely free. It is Nitya Mukta. As Bhagavan says, freedom is your name. Liberation is your name. It is your real name. It is your real self. Atma means mukti. The self means liberation. The very nature of the self is ever liberated. That is why sometime realization will happen like this for a mature aspirant. When he comes to the master tells him, Tattvamasi, finished. Over. He becomes established in that Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Brahman. He becomes established in that. He enters the hermitage as a worldly person or a seeker. While he comes out, he will be with light. That simple Vedanta is for the mature person, but for the unprepared, all the prerequisites, we have to see where we stand. We cannot simply claim that I have this. So be humble there. You need the humility also, because a little bit of spirituality will give you joy. You are able to meditate for half an hour, that itself you feel gained. Oh, today I had half an hour meditation, that is happy. Then slowly you feel gratitude to the Guru Parampara, to all the saints who have helped you everywhere. See, even in Buddhist tradition they say, before meditation, expand yourself, send waves of gratitude to the east, to the west, to the south, to the north. We also do that every day, Sandhya Vandanam, standing and worshipping the east, worshipping the west, worshipping the north, worshipping the south, worshipping the sky, worshipping the earth. Because the heart feels the gratitude. Then real meditation happens. Even after finishing the meditation also, the first thing that they do is just stand up, touch the earth, worship the bhumi, and throw the heart outside and see everything as divine. Once the self is revealed inside, then you behold everywhere the same self. Bhagavan's Arunachala Pancharatnam, the last verse, Bhagavan says, everything is Arunachala. And the jnani who has realized that everything is Arunachala, he will constantly worship Arunachala by Ananya Bhakti. Anya means other. Ananya means no other. Ananya Pritya Sajayati Arunachalattvai Sukhe Magraha. He will be in that sukha, immersed in that bliss of self-realization, and he will be looking at everyone as the self. No bheda, no difference at all, no separation. And that very look of a Jivan Mukta, a liberated soul, is initiation. That is why people never felt the need for Maharshi to speak. His just look was enough. Just a glance from him initiated. His very maunam was a constant eloquence, very powerful eloquence. He was in maunam, but people felt he was talking. There are instances where people felt Maharshi spoke in their language. But he never spoke. In Kashmir, some people, some devotees came with Lakshmanju, Acharya Lakshmanju. And they brought one servant also with him. He was an illiterate. These people were speaking to Maharshi in English. One day this servant asked, why unnecessarily you speak to him in English? Babaji is knowing Kashmiri. He spoke to me in Kashmiri. But Bhagavan will not speak Kashmiri. He felt Bhagavan's maunam is so perfect communication that it was as if he spoke in Kashmiri. Because the maunam, animals also understand, birds also understand, plants also understand. And maunam means what? It is not keeping the mouth shut. It means the knowledge of the self is maunam. When there is perfect, powerful knowledge of the self, whether the teacher speaks or keeps silent, it will be eloquent. The eloquence of Brahma Vidya will be incessant. There is an incident, anecdote narrated by Shankaracharya, where a disciple went to the Guru and stayed with him for 1 year. But the Guru never gave him any teaching. Then the disciple asked, Master, I have been with you for 1 year, Samvatsram, and you did not teach me. And the Guru said, I was constantly teaching you. You did not get it. Brumah khalu tvam tu na vijanasi. I was constantly telling you, but you could not get it. And the disciple, and Shankaracharya adds, Avachanenaiva Brahma Provacha. He spoke Brahman without uttering a word. Even a single word, without uttering any word, he spoke, he transmitted the knowledge of Brahman. But you should not take it as general. Generally, you go to a teacher, ask, get it in the verbal form, because our mind is so much verbose. So, to stop that, you need verbal teaching, and that teaching must be taken inside, meditated, contemplated deeply, and then the mind gains subtlety to go within and locate the self in the heart, recognize the self in the heart. Then it abides there, then it goes beyond all teaching. Pandityam nirvidya balyena tishtaset. Then the jnani becomes like a child, innocent like a child, and he becomes absolutely free, becomes a friend of all. Sarva bhuta suhrt shanto jnana vijnana nishayaha pashyan madatmakam vishwam na vipadyeta vai punaha. He has no duality, no enemy, no speciality anywhere. He just moves about free as the friend of all. Absolutely light, free, no attachment. Till one reaches that state, one should not be in a haste to give, to make an institution or anything. The joy of sadhana you don't have in becoming a guru. Real joy is you stay somewhere, enjoy the deep innerness, the treasure that is within you. Once you own that treasure perfectly, naturally it will go out. And that treasure is very deep. It is, though it is impersonal, it transcends personality. Hence it is more personal also. It knows which disciple to come, to whom it must be given, and who will get initiated from there, who will realize. Every omniscience will blossom there. Omniscience will happen. All-knowingness will happen there. So that kind of power is there within you, within everyone. As Buddha said, his last teaching, Atma-Dipo Bhava. He said, be a light unto yourself. Because the light is in you. You are the light. And the body, mind is all darkness. You remove it, you find the light there. The self-effulgent thing is there. Swayam Prakasha is there. And that light is Arunachalam. That is why once in a year they light a big cauldron in Arunachala. It's just symbolically to tell that He is the fire within you. He is the light within you. I think that there is no need for the I to think. The thinking is not your real nature. Maunam is your real nature. And Atma-Vichara is this. Strive to be quiet, still. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachalam, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala